This is the post office in my Minecraft hardcore world. I originally built it more for novelty than anything, but now that auto-crafting is in the game, we're going to revisit this project and help it realize its full potential. We load shulkers into these input chests at the respective stations, and the chest minecart travels down the subway tunnel to deliver the correct shulker shells to the correct destination. However, this system has some design flaws, so we're going to take another look at everything this episode and make sure this really useful build in the center of the hardcore world becomes as cool as it could be. Back to what I said earlier about this farm kind of being more for post office, was that this machine, this contraption that is the post office kind of sucks. It's kind of not that worthwhile to use. I mean, consider like the distance between, like, I don't know, like, I usually don't have that many shulker shells. Like, you should just like rocket over with Elytra with the shulker shells we want. So we actually have a cool solution for this. Not only am I going to finish actually wiring this machine up, a few things that have changed in the game since I originally put this whole monstrosity together. And the main thing here is we have these very gross redstone lines, and there's these things in Minecraft called chunk borders. And these things just kind of, they can work for you or they can work against you. So we're probably going to rip this out. Again, I don't really use the villager portion of this. I plan to use the other side of this a lot because we can put empty shulkers, we can send items into our storage system, we can auto smelt items, we can even have items, you know, directly unloaded from shulker shells into an auto sorter, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this build has a lot more uses than what it's currently being used for. And I also have a pretty big revelation. I don't really want to call it a revelation here. You can see the little astrology wheel I have built on top of this. It's kind of sucks. You can't really see it in the water that well. But we're actually going to build underneath this, and you can see we have the sewer line for the dolphin soul speed travel. We don't have it set up yet, but we're probably gonna get it done this episode too. And so yeah, let's get started with what I have in mind here. I think the best way to build this, I built this kind of like chaotic, sprawling floor so that when you, let me get up here. Yeah, so that when we're up here, it just looks like kind of like a chaotic mess and really blends in with the redstone was kind of the idea. It's like you don't even want to look at this. Just come to this nice, you know, cool, calming colors. I mean, it's still a little messy. This is much more ordered and crystalline, and it just feels calmer in this room here. And you can kind of, you know, do what you need to. So I think that the main idea I have here is let's take out three blocks here, and the idea is let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we want to put, yeah, we want to have three blocks total here. Okay, and yeah, this is like the general idea. We'll clean it up a little bit, but we're gonna push this 3 back, and also we're gonna run this around the entire loop here, except for this part, but this kind of leads into, you know, be kind of messy with everything here, with the sewer track, with these redstone lines, with the subway station. So we'll just have it on all 3 sides and not this forward-facing one here. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to dig down a little bit here, and I think I just want another room. So the way that would have been much easier to do this would have been to not use a minecart chest and have all of this redstone. Like, we can actually, like, the working version of a system like this is actually much easier and more simple to put together than this abomination we've constructed here. You can just use like water lines, and so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build another room down here where we're gonna take this concept, and so we're just gonna throw shulker shells. Or have an input chest that just sends shulker shells directly into water streams. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but we're also going to clean that up over here. And we're not going to have this super long subway system. We're probably going to have it all concentrated within these 3 chunks here. Or the input streams, I should say. But yeah, I'm going to get to work kind of tearing this down. And I'll cut back when I've made some more progress on our subterranean item processing facility. Alright guys, so this was pretty bad. This wasn't originally scripted for the episode, but I thought I'd show off what happened. So originally we had our nether tree farm working, and you can see these barrels up here on the bone meal thing. So what was happening, I was able to save some of the bone meal, but this was just always on, and it was constantly requesting bone meal. And what happened was I took my eyes off this thing. I didn't mean to, but I definitely had it running and fell asleep overnight, which isn't too big of a deal, especially with how we had this wired. But unfortunately there was a pretty big bug with, you can see our bone meal supply has been decimated. We were probably missing like an entire chest or barrel worth of shulkers full of bone meal. So yeah, that is pretty brutal, losing that much bone meal, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I have the bone meal autocrafters running. We actually don't have as many bones as I want, which is kind of unfortunate. We're not hurting for bone meal or anything. It's not like we can't run these machines freely. But so I was worried this was going to happen, because I thought that was how it worked, and then it didn't work that way. So originally I had it so that these redstone blocks would push down into the piston underneath it until, you know, it activates the wire and requests the bone meal property. What happened was these pistons got stuck, so it was constantly requesting bone meal, even after our chamber filled up here, and this comparator was saying, yes, I'm full of bone meal, don't give me any more. So pretty tragic, but I had a pretty simple solution here, and it should stop it from happening in the future too. So basically, instead of the redstone block directly powering the piston, it's going to power this redstone dust instead. And hopefully, I believe that over here too for the universal tree farm, I believe that should stop any more issues with... I actually can't believe this happened, because I did so much testing, and it was never an issue until it randomly was. Like, why? I don't know, that's the whole thing with Java Redstone, is it works consistently, but for some reason this didn't fire consistently, and I'm not really sure why. But yeah, I think I got that all figured out and fixed. It really sucks that, you know, we had to get burned with such a brutal lesson here. But hopefully if I leave this on overnight, something like that won't happen in the future. Well, I'm surprised we didn't lose all of our bone meal, like genuinely. Wow. This thing should produce more bone meal than it takes, I think. So yeah, well, on the bright side, we are going to have a full, once it's done dispensing here, it has to dispense slower than I can harvest it. We're gonna have a full shulker shell full of these shroom lights, and I can show you what we're gonna work on next. Okay, yeah, we weren't here for very long before I ran out of nether brick. But I want these to go all the way down to this layer I have dug out here. We actually don't want it touching, you know, the old quarry, right? You know, we used to mine for diamonds at Y level 10 before they fixed caving, I should say. So yeah, I'm gonna cut to us at the base here. We're gonna take these 2 shulker shells to the nether. I'm gonna show, there's two ways we can get nether brick. I guess 3 ways. 1, we can mine it from like another fortress. 2, we can smelt up a bunch of netherrack. And 3, we can fix our piglin trading setup. Okay, so we're on the roof of the nether now. And this setup right here, this still works really well for gold, but our piglin trading setup here is like completely messed up. Like the redstone here doesn't function correctly. So this, yeah, this is just like broken. Yeah, so the pigment farm works great for gold. However, there's a few things we need to get done here. So we're gonna take this design and we're actually going to implement it. The dispensers shooting through cobwebs and like the sticky piston, so you can't have water streams in the nether, excuse me. So yeah, the one hopper speed is what our threshold is at now. So this thing is just super clunky, it doesn't really work. It doesn't load into shulker shells either. And now we have auto crafters in the game, so we can actually convert all of these gold nuggets like directly into gold bars. So yeah, we're gonna start ripping out this entire like storage hall. This is not what we want for the piglin trading. Again, we want a ice hopper line like this, just so we can actually keep up with the fact that we have 24 piglins trading at once. It's too much for this one hopper line. It gets overblown pretty quick. So I'm gonna start destroying some of these chests. All right, so we'll do 1, 2, 3. On the fourth one, we'll get rid of all of these item filters going down. Actually, we want to keep a few, so we don't want to demo all of these, because we do want our rotten flesh. We want to move these shulker loaders over down here and put them next to our final storage room. I've AFK'd for a little bit here, just to make sure that everything's working properly, and this is kind of the setup I've settled on. And everything to the right of these 3 hoppers, I'm just gonna wipe it out of here. And these 3 will be the I'm gonna move these shulker loaders up here. And now it's time to get rid of this ungodly stream of item sorters. I need to make sure I pick up all these hoppers too. These are kind of expensive. Oh yeah, we already know that filled up my whole inventory. Let me try, I think something like so. Alright, and now it's time to wipe out all these item filters. Super, super exciting stuff. Yippee! Okay, now this is all done. Hopefully I have some chests. We can actually pick all this up. Okay, and you can probably see what I was talking about earlier. The way that all of these hoppers kind of just feed into one stream. And then, yeah, you can see how this was a nightmare. There's like a huge choke point right here. And it would just cram up, and you know, this piglin farm doesn't really work. So yeah, pretty exciting that we have a new, or we're pretty much copy pasting this over. So I'm gonna start redoing the way that we have some of these hoppers. I think I can, yeah, get rid of them like this, and I'll cut back when this is all taken care of, because it's kind of annoying. It's kind of a mess. Oh God, what have I done? This is a huge mess. Everything's functional now. I haven't labeled these, but basically this is just a way of locking these 2 hoppers. We're gonna have one go into like storage of all our gold blocks here. Then we're gonna have this other one which goes into this auto crafter, which goes up this dropper elevator. These are pretty fancy. And then it feeds into, we did a lot of remodeling, but we're gonna come back and do it like an actual build here. I'm just trying to get everything functional quickly. I don't want to spend a lot of time here this episode. And yeah, it'll start feeding gold ingots into our piglin trading chamber over here. So I'm kind of spooked here. I haven't really done a lot of testing, but I guess I'll show off all the work I've done. This is the on-off right now, so this will turn everything on. This is going to turn this hopper clock on, this hopper clock on, and then it's going to activate or power the clock that activates these droppers. So it looks like it's working pretty well. And that this hopper clock is just to continuously feed these guys gold. I don't know. I think I have a pretty janky setup here. I'm not gonna lie. But I think if they drop just like one item, they'll stop Like the hopper won't read it. It's too quick, or the comparator here, and then it'll just stop working. So that's why there's hopper clocks here. I think a few already have stopped trading. Yeah, and then that's the hopper clock going off when everyone gets one at once. So I guess let's check out down here. I've added. It looks like this is working well. And I also use a hopper clock for this thing. It's a little bit more consistent than whatever. However, this one works for the. I forgot who made this far. I think it's Nembob. That sounds right. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. But it looked like. Ooh, oh, gross. Okay, this is kind of rough. This actually isn't. This is probably the worst thing that could happen. So it looks like this is working really, really well, and it's actually picking everything up. You can see the only items here are. Yeah, it's not going to this last one over here, this last hopper. When I say this is the worst best thing that could happen, except this is about what happened in my creative testing, is it got to the very, very end. So I think, like, we have a few of these. So, like, we have two gold, we have 3 iron nuggets, 3 gravel, 3 blackstone. You know, you kind of get the idea. So we have 2 string, and I think we can get away with 1 string. But I thought we had 1 more block of freedom here. I think as long as we move this hopper over 1, we should be fine. Okay, so that's enough piglin trading stuff. It took a little bit longer than I wanted, but it was a pretty big project. So I did have some footage, but unfortunately I was not recording my voice. So I kind of needed to augment the storage solution a little bit. Yeah, the auto sorter like works great, but sometimes you just get too much obsidian or too much soul sand or too much whatever. And we have our bulk storage solution where we fill up like entire shulkers, you know, full of 1 item. So I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of get like a midway solution here. And we can store, you know, we can put shulkers in here, we can put whatever in here. And this way we can like not fill up our, you know, these chests can always stay kind of empty so that stuff can actually auto sort and there's actually slots for them to go into. And this also just works great. So like once the dirt chest is filled up, we can put it in a shulker and then it's going straight into bulk storage. So this is awesome. This is a really, this is just the inventory storage episode. So pretty happy about that. And I'm going to cut. All right, let's just dive right in. I definitely going to want to build some underwater pathways. I'll probably do that off screen. Haven't dug these out yet either, but I did finish up pretty much like literally everything else. So I made water go around the entire thing so that we can just jump down and surprise. Yeah, I did a lot of mining off camera. I actually didn't realize how much of this I didn't show off on camera. I don't think I even had like much dug out. I definitely had some stuff with some footage, like my mic not being on. Like I carved out the ceiling with TNT and kinda used a pickaxe a little bit, but mostly it was TNT. I did use a pickaxe to smooth out the shape a little bit. I really like the way it feels between these pillars here. You can kind of see that was the design I went for. I kind of wanted to feel like a big cave, but I mean also we had these pillars that, you know, I kind of brought the theme downstairs, if you catch my drift. And yeah, we'll also get the dolphin's grace here, so we can swim up here. And we need to. I'll also do this off camera. This is just the stuff you don't want to see, is me you know, we're gonna put slabs here. We're gonna put water here. We'll get the dolphin's grace, and we'll just zoom, so we can get to both ends of the world here. We have our first station over there, and our second. I don't know if you can really see it, where that goes down there. Okay, well, the OBS gods have spoken. Luckily, it was only 3 minutes of footage, me just rambling. But yeah, the footage just got corrupted, and thankfully I caught it. So yeah, you missed the joy of me putting this together for the first time. But this is kind of the idea we're going to go with. Like, we're gonna have these dividers in the middle here. We're gonna bring down the color scheme from up here in all of these 16 stations, and we have these 3 stations right here reserved. I don't know what I'm going to use them for yet, but I also know that I don't want to use them for something like the library, or like the leather workers, or we haven't installed that yet, or even the two, like I don't know, like there's a lot of stations where it might be nice to have a mailbox. But they're not as important as being. It's nice that we have it, but it's really not that worthwhile. That's kind of why we built this downstairs area, so we could put in another 16 water pathways here. But yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of work off camera, put this together, and this won't be too bad to put together. The part I'm kind of dreading and procrastinating is actually wiring up all the water streams, and also changing the water streams over here and changing the minecart setup. I'm really not looking forward to that. So I'm gonna keep working on this, and I will cut back to when this is all done. All right, we're in the Nether Hub again. We're kind of running out of packed ice, and I have just enough with me. All right, I think this is where we want to start branching off, and this will lead us into an ice spike biome. So I'll cut when I've built the portal here. And let's see if this actually works. I am optimistic. Sweet. Okay. Yes, this seed finder worked. Awesome. yeah. I'll cheat to find the packed ice. I am not using the ice farm to get this stuff. Just mine it with Silk Touch. Trust me. Okay, we have a little bit of an emergency. It's not too big of a deal, but there's a bug where for some reason these villagers up here don't spawn iron golems when they get scared by the zombies that fall down here. So the solution to fix this is actually to break all of their beds, and you can see it's kind of a nice excuse to do this, because got all these rainbow colored beds to like match the rainbow colored platforms here. And I would have never done this if I didn't need to actually break the beds in order to get the iron farm working. So let's just sneak right in here. Might actually go right here, sure. All right, let's come down here and actually block this off, just in case we accidentally knock a villager down here. It doesn't fall into the lava chute right here, where the golems go. So we're just gonna scaffold up here with dirt. It's gonna be kind of a pain. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put slabs underneath the beds. I want to make sure they don't go on the staircase, and then we'll use glass blocks and try to, maybe they'll pathfind off of it. I've put some walls and fences in my inventory, and they shouldn't be able to. Let's try the fence first. The fence has a smaller hitbox, so it might be easier to place, but I'm worried they can still walk around it. It doesn't seem to be the case with this guy here. Yep, perfect. And okay, awesome. And we're just gonna this is gonna suck, but I'm just gonna repeat this process for all 10 of these stations here, and then I'll break the beds and place them again. I might not start breaking them until I get every single villager off of here, just because when I replace them, they're going to start spawning golems again, and it's kind of going to be a hassle, and I'm worried they might fall on the platforms and bump the villagers off. So I'm just going to do this for every single cell here. Okay, I've been having some OBS bugs, but I think I know why. I wanted to show this off real quick while it's still nighttime. These two villagers went in their beds for some reason, but it's been a minute here. None of these other ones have, so hopefully they just spawn on the other side. And this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it'd be. I'm actually doing this pretty quick. I was worried about bumping them off, but I can actually, like, parkour on top of the beds from the dirt platform and push them onto the glass blocks pretty easily. So I'm going to get started with this other side. I might wait till daytime, or even pop a bed down to sleep, just to see what happens when they wake up. Alright, let's check it out. What happens? They spawn on top of the beds. Okay, that won't be too bad to fix. I'm just gonna go do the other side now, and I'll cut back to when it's time to start breaking the beds here. Alright, we almost had an accident and pushed a guy off. Perfect. Perfect. This is everything. I do have the beds in my inventory. So let's experiment with the bottom floor here. Do some hardcore parkour. I think we should wait a second until placing them again, maybe. Let's give it a few seconds here. And hopefully, once they access these beds again, we start spawning golems. I think I'm gonna do the other side first real quick. Uh-oh. I guess there's an accident. They must have... No way. We're gonna have to get minecarts. How did they fall? How did they fall? Did they try to pathfind? Why didn't anyone else fall? Were these the two that... Oh, you know what it was? They probably spawned on the beds and we didn't move them. It was definitely those two. So them being able to access the beds for whatever reason definitely screwed everything up. That's annoying. I'm gonna have to get a minecart track. God dang it. Alright, well, here we go. Not looking forward to this. Okay, it's nighttime again. Uh-oh. This is bad, guys. This is bad. I'm gonna place a block on top of the fences in the villagers that are sleeping. I think what did it is they... Oh, shoot. Did they just wake up from the villager? Oh, God. Or from the zombies? They're on top of the beds. Okay. Let's put a block. Oh, I missed! Is it these guys? Yeah. Let's put a block on top of this. We can just be really careful of nighttime in the future. I think we're actually going to go through and put walls in instead. That might be the better option. I don't think they should be able to get to their beds anymore. Okay, that's everything replaced with walls. I don't think the bottom... These bottom ones here are spawning golems because they can't reach their beds right now. Let's get these guys back up here. Alright, let's push this guy up and see what happens. Stay optimistic here. That should be fine. Alright, let's get this next guy. Right over here. Nope. Nope, right over here. Who doesn't love moving villagers around? Right over here. Right over here. There we go. Now, I guess we can see if this... I guess we can see if these spawn golems again, these first villagers. It'd be a good way to test it here, especially in the bottom. That way, if any golems spawn, they don't bump into the villagers here. So let's break these fences. I want to be careful not to hit you. Push them over if need be. No, come on. I'm worried they're scared from the zombies or whatever. That's fine. You can be there. And it looks like I just saw him, like, light up, so I think that means he's found his bed. Or his new bed, I should say. This is a little bit more frustrating, honestly. So I'm worried they're gonna... No! Well, that's why we didn't get rid of the minecart track. Let's just push you... Oh, no, not this again. Thank God. Okay. Let's do this. All right. Now I guess we should start seeing... Oh, there goes the minecart. I guess let's see if any golems spawn now. They should be scared with their new beds. Is it because he's not looking at them? The beds should be on the same level here. Oh, a golem just spawned. Okay, it's working again. I think it was only a... Yep, there they all go. I think it was only a chance to spawn a golem, so maybe that's why it didn't do it that time. Maybe it needs to be nighttime, they need to be asleep or something, but that's really good to know. So if you're a villager, or if your iron farm breaks, maybe you need to break the beds and replace them. Oh crap, they're really coming down now. They're starting to rain down. I think we should be fine. They shouldn't be able to push the villagers or anything. Okay, last magenta side and the side without the minecart track. So it means we didn't have to cart any villagers up here. So we're just going to take down this dirt scaffolding on this side. And all these beds are now aesthetic and replaced and actually functional. I'll have to grab this other side before this iron golem knocks him off. Oh my god. Oh god. I know we smacked one of these guys earlier when we were trying to get rid of those last two dirt blocks here. Let's just open this up. We don't really need to get all these rails back, do we? And these guys should just flush out of here. Yeah, we have this nice little piston pusher too, so they don't jam up. So you actually can get like two in here that get stuck. So this piston makes sure that there's always like one flowing through at a time, and it really helps when this thing gets jammed like this, because it does happen. Isn't this just amazing? Okay, and for this next part, we're gonna go over to the nightclub here, which is actually the wool factory. And we're gonna be a little careful with our selection, but we're gonna grab 13 out of 16 boxes full of sheep wool, which is as many stations as we have at the post office or whatever. All right, let's just start filling these up with wool. All right, and off camera, I added these glass blocks as kind of a placeholder here. It makes it look a lot better. It looks kind of awkward when there's nothing there, but it's still nice having it be transparent. So it seems more like a placeholder rather than it looking a little awkwardly shaped. So yeah, let's come down here. I did quite a bit of work off camera, and most of the stuff doesn't really make for good build montages or whatever, so I just kind of dug it out. I did everything I needed to. And this is eight ice streams into the Emerald City Village. And over here we have 5 ice streams, 3 of which are only going to be functional. This is the motif here. Okay, so grab a few stacks of white wool. Put the white wool, excuse me, like so. This is the way. This is the way right here. And then that will push. This is pretty much exactly what we want. So we're gonna use each different wool type of the station's respective color here to kind of mark the ice path. So I guess we are kind of repurposing this quarry space here, so it'll be a little bit visible and it'll be kind of obvious what goes to what, so we're never confused about that in the future. This is actually a better idea than I thought it would be at first, especially because we're going to be using the subway system with the minecart or whatever, and feeding those ice lines into these ice lines, and having these distinguished with like colors is definitely going to make it much less of a headache. Okay, and one more motif we really want to watch out for is chunk borders. I know we mentioned it earlier, but we just really do not want like a situation exactly like this. This is something we don't want, so we're gonna watch out for these chunk border lines. We're gonna make situations like this look a little bit more like a so. All right, let's fill in this last bit here. Oh my god, you can hear the villagers. So yeah, we're gonna tunnel up here with the ice block, and there's soul sand underneath these ice blocks here. Okay, and you might be able to surmise our predicament here. So these are the old water streams here, and this leads up into the dispenser, which leads into the chest, and the cleric, or the church or whatever for the clerics. And so let's do this, and that should be completely sealed now, almost, because we can do this too. We can pop in right here. So we're going to want to close this off from this tunnel. We're also going to just get rid of this tunnel. And yeah, let's tear out this water stream. We're going to get rid of all the water. We're going to tear up the packed ice, just so we know that this isn't in use anymore. And that's just a random tunnel instead of an ice stream. We have quite a few of these, so I'm just going to do this all off camera. I mean, I'm going to literally repeat this 8 times. I just did this one time to kind of show you the process here. So yeah, I'm going to be busy, and this is going to kind of suck. Okay, we're definitely finishing up the last part of this project. Thank God. This has kind of been not a headache, but definitely a lot of work, a lot of repetitive wiring and whatnot, and repeating the same pattern. But I've definitely found a solution here that's a lot less messy. I enchanted up all of these, a few pairs of shears here with the efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3 at the library, and we're gonna get rid of these old wool tunnels here, these gross redstone wires. The way we have it now, what we're gonna be doing is this cute little circuit here. Basically, these wires are gonna feed into these redstone lines. They're gonna go to their appropriate color and station and whatever. And as the minecart, it'll basically, so the minecart's like, it comes from here down here into the subway station. We need to set the other wire that switches the track, but that should be pretty easy. But the way these are laid out right now, it just goes in a straight line, and this works out super well. And when we power the rail, it will. I can maybe actually do it here. Let me just do this, and you can see now how the minecart will just go in a straight line, and it's like it'll go to the right station. So the only thing we have to do now is actually hook these up to the water streams down here, which is why I said this episode's kind of been like a dread to record. It's just been a lot of like repetitive wire. It hasn't been too bad though. I've gone kind of turning my brain off and enjoying it. This is a big project too, so I'm happy to see, you know, this thing actually finally working. So I'm gonna finish this up and build the I don't have the dispensers in my inventory, but the dispenser stations into the final water streams, and we're gonna see this thing in action again. All right, not sure I showed this off on camera, but I've been meaning to. So let's go down here, enter the sewer system. I did a lot of work on the ceiling here. I've also done something cool with the vine, so it's always been a little tricky once you fall down here to kind of get in the water. But now that these vines are here, you can drop down, like land the vines, and then be exactly where you need to be here. So we can kind of take a look at the ceiling here. It used to just be stone, but I think I got it looking pretty fancy, because I thought this room looked pretty good before, and the ceiling was definitely lacking. So we got a nice, you know, stalactite feature here. Just kind of made it look pretty, you know, just put in some randomness and whatnot. So you can either get to the surface through this amethyst geode, but what we're going to be doing is the reason we have these huge soul soil pathways is if we get, I think it's depth strider and soul speed on our boots, and then we also can get a dolphin and tuck it in a minecart under the ground on soul sanders. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to check again. Excuse me. I also went down the entirety of this tunnel, and I made sure that these blocks go up at least too high here. There's no way to like fall off on either side of this. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna place a ton of ice. I think we can go every other block, but I'm just gonna place it every single block in case I screw up. Break the ice, and what this is gonna do is it's gonna create it might screw up a little bit because of the geode right here. Yeah, an infinite water source. You know, we put down our slabs here. Alright, sweet. And I haven't done it for the entire thing yet. But yeah, we're just gonna repeat this. We're just gonna repeat this process again. This is just like the repetitive tunnel building episode. And yeah, we'll be able to zoom down here once we have the dolphin. Okay, so I've created a few name tags here. We have Flippers, Squeakers, and Archibald. So I fixed all of these, kind of. I haven't really put all the prismarine in yet for everything, but we are hunting for a dolphin. And I just saw one out here. I think I've name tagged one of these in the past too. Hopefully we see one spawn. Oh, yep, right here. Let's lead. Oh, shoot, already got the dolphin's grace. I put iron gates on all of these except this one. I put fence gates. So let's see if we can lead this dolphin right down here. Oh, hopefully he doesn't. He can hit the. Oh, did we lose him? Uh-oh. All right, let's try the slow descent method maybe. Oh, that looks like it worked. All right, no more fall damage. Right down here. Now let's... I think you can stay out of the air for a minute here. Right over this way. Perfect. I have a nice, cute little chamber here. I don't want to name tag you yet until you're definitely in here. Oh no, don't go up there. Come on, man. I need to get a regen potion too. Alright, come in here with me. You can be... You're definitely Squeakers. Can I get out of here? I think if these half slabs are here, you should survive, hypothetically. So it's... Oh, I don't know if it's in the water or not. I think it's technically in the water. I know they need to breathe air. I don't really know how dolphins work that well. Hopefully this works. I have these slabs above here. We'll see if this works. I kind of don't really... I've never really messed around with dolphins too much. So hypothetically, I don't know if this is like a baby, but we should be able to get the dolphin's grace now. If we sprint swim in the water, we zoom down here. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, awesome. And you kind of keep your momentum, too. So I want to get one more dolphin down here, and then another dolphin at the end. And then you can just sprint swim and get that crate. That was insane. I've never actually used that before. Oh, looks like we have another 2 right here. Let's see if we can get you both down here, actually. I think one of you might die. I'm not gonna lie. Don't... Oh, there's 3? These guys spawn all over this ocean. So I think the strat was to not fall all the way down. And then fall all the way down. Yeah, that's only a block or whatever. Oh. You're coming down. Got one of you. The other one, we're just gonna leave them be. Oh, come on, man. Don't jump so high in the air. You kill yourself here. You're not gonna... dolphins can survive for 2 minutes out of water. This guy's still alive, too. He's doing this. So I'm worried he's gonna glitch out of the blocks here. Let's hurry up and move this guy. Okay, looks like we're at the end here. I have this cute little area hooked up. Oh, get rid of the lead. Grab a minecart. Oh, come on. No! Dirt. And get into the minecart. Perfect. Okay. Hit. Do this. That's where we want it to be. All right, I need to hurry because he's only alive for 2 minutes here, I think. And then put a lever right here. And I think that's how you build these things right here. Yeah, I maybe should have used glass or black glass for the right here, but whatever. And I think when they're in the minecart and they're in this way, because you can see the other guy was kind of jostling around and it looked like he was kind of glitching out of the blocks. But he is still alive, so I guess we'll see if he lives forever. But I think this is like the way to kind of engineer dolphins to get them to never die. So they're always... because they have issues with breathing air and breathing water and, you know, not surfacing or, you know, whatever. So using a bubble column with 0 blocks of space, I think this way they're always getting air and they're always submerged because of the bubble column. Now, I don't know if you can put mobs in minecarts. This is going to be tricky. Can you even get up here? I can't get up here. Okay, I cannot get this guy into the minecart, like, at all. Let's do this. Get into the minecart. Not in the vines. Oh my god, this is terrible. Okay, and then let us name the dolphin. Oh, we can put glass up pretty easy then. Okay. So let's just zoom on down here. Oh, that is so convenient. That's quite a distance too. Like you can see the system's quite a ways away there. So let's go up here. And I have some surprise items. I think the first thing we want to do, so I want to check all the stations. So I have 13 items and 13 cookies. And we'll use the cookies just to make sure that the downstairs stations work as well. So if I don't have 13 cookies when I collect all these items, you know, there's something to worry about. But I also want to grab all these dyes and start doing something like this. Oh my god, that's insane. Get the cleric. Doesn't do much until you give the glow squid, and it's like, whoa. Now it's neon blue. That is insane. Okay, so this is the big test. Just throw all of you into your respective stations here. Furnace, auto smelt. We're gonna do the same for this side here. Okay, awesome. Just got everything here. This room's looking pretty snazzy, and I was definitely a little skeptical about the rainbow paint. I think it looks really good. So let's just turn this thing on here. I think I've done enough. Oh, I did not do enough testing. What we're gonna have to do, I forgot to put the wire in to change this hopper minecart track. I'm gonna have to fix this right now. Uh-oh, we're on the clock here. Got it. I got it just in time. Oh my god. So that looks like it's working okay. I'm gonna assume it's sending the item to the correct location. And it's basically gonna repeat this for every single station. And every time it has a job, like, this machine can take a little bit. It's not too long between stations, but it's definitely a little bit of time because it has to wait for, you know, potentially a full, you know, 27 chest minecart inventory full of shulker shells. Oh shoot, you know what? I think the signal needs to be inverted because it's I think it'll go in a straight line this way, but right here I think it needs to go the other way. So we need to invert the signal on this side somehow. Well, I'm glad we caught this in testing. Okay, and we can see the light blue wire lit up right now. So it looks like, yeah, this one right here is different. So let's see if the minecart chest works correctly on this side. Yep, okay, perfect. It goes in a straight line. But it should have dropped the one item off. So this side is working, and we do just need to invert the circuit on this side. So that should be pretty simple. Shouldn't take too much redstoning or anything. You can watch it turn off, and the next one turn on. Yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? And it's a little frustrating, but we do need this detector rail one away from... Yeah, because when the minecart does this, it like when it kind of juts out like that, when it's going straight on these rails, it will hit the detector rail and then swap the minecart track, and it just messes everything up. So you actually do need to keep the detector rail one block away. Oh god, what is this mess over here? So I went and looked at the... These are just like the regular dispenser loaders. I had to stare at this for a second. I think because this, when, you know, this comparator reads the inventory, and then this repeater powers this block, which powers the dropper. I think these are the minecart loaders. So if I break this redstone torch, will this start working? Yes, immediately. Okay. That's also a huge pain. That means I have to lower all of these by one. But we can at least see, so that's why these other ones over here are working. Because I was wondering what was happening over here, and I think I understand. Okay, before we do any more testing, I want to build my first chunk loader here. So I think we take out these 3 blocks here, and then we go, how many down? I think it's 6 blocks total. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 4, 6. Okay, I'm gonna place a soul sand right here. We'll get this looking nice and pretty. We'll seal everything up with blue concrete here. Alright, now let's see if we made this the proper way, actually. Let's break this. I've never made a chunk loader. This is my first time, so I'm pretty excited. So we lean over, throw an ender pearl down. And it should bounce back up. Yeah, and it looks like we're totally fine here. So we actually want to build another one of these. We can build it literally right here, like genuinely. Because this ender pearl loads a 3x3 chunk area, so it's going to load here, here, here. And what we're doing is we want to load a 4x3 chunk area for the post office here. And this will get all of the machinery we need, and it will also capture this wiring area right here. And we'll see, it gets pretty tight here, but I did manage to build this all within a 4x3 area here. All right, so this is like, kind of looks like the one thing from Doctor Who. I forget what it's called. The TARDIS, maybe. Oh, I guess I messed that up. Oh, how do I do it? Am I did I build this 1 2 high maybe? Or am I just really bad? Am I just really bad? There we go. I think you have to shift while doing it. I wasn't shifting. Perfect. Now we have 2 chunk loaders. Look at that. Okay, so we're back up here. So let's go ahead and test everything again. I did build the one line we needed to switch up the railcart track. And I also fixed all the other railcart tracks as well. And the shepherds, we threw the 13 cookies down there already. So let's press the button and hope this works. yeah, I just added this little slime column right here, and it runs the redstone wire up here, which changes the track depending on which cycle the post office is working through right now. So I guess I'm just gonna let it run, and I'll show off the results later and kind of end the episode here. It's getting kind of late, but I did want to show off one more thing here. So, you know, this whole system has basically been until this, you know, refurbishment or whatever. It's basically just been a way for me to deposit my empty shulker boxes. And so we're gonna test the line first, but I also built a little lever here, and this basically will just drain all of the shulker shells down this hopper line right here and into the basement. And that's convenient, because one of the reasons we built the basement was because it can handle more than one chest minecart worth of items or shulkers at a time, which is going to be really, really convenient, because you can see how many shulker boxes we have, or empty shulker boxes. So it'd take quite a few minecart trips. Click you, and I did have to change the minecart track a little bit. It just seems, I tried to swap out the rail, and so like when I powered it, it would be in a different configuration, but then it just reset to the way that it was, so I actually just made it go like counterclockwise, basically, to mirror the other side that works. So this is working now, and we can see it kind of go along here backwards, technically. We'll go into the right thing there. Activate it. Yep. Awesome. So this should be working now, and I'm gonna go try to collect all of the items that the post office distributed, and I'll report back. And this is why you always double check crap. Look at this. So we were actually losing butcher items, and they would get pooled up in this corner here because we did forget a fence gate. So for how many blocks you placed, only forgetting one fence gate is pretty good here. And we also made a little bit of a whoopsie with the Flesher and Fisherman lines. We got their colors mixed up on the input streams, so we have like the second-tiered input streams from the minecart, and it was going into the wrong ones. Alright, yeah, I want to thank everyone so much for watching. I'm going to kind of cover the last little bit that I changed here. It's not much. So we moved this input water stream up a few blocks, just so we could squeeze in a few more input chests here. We don't have to worry about those chests filling up and our not being able to accept shulkers. We also have the added benefit of being able to hardcore parkour into this thing, or into the central room here on both sides. So let's use this thing for the last time this episode, now that it's fully functional and working. And it can be a bit, the piston pusher can be a bit goofy. It's more just for show. But let's press the button, run this thing, enter free cam, and hop over here into the subway station. Alright, a little bit of time has passed. The minecart chest is heading down the rail. So what I did here, I changed these hopper loaders a little bit. I put another hopper in, and then I also waterlogged it, and it's basically this hopper helps speed the unloader up, and the water helps slow the chest minecart down, because this, you know, items would enter this hopper and this rail would not shut off fast enough, and the chest minecart would just bounce out of the station. So it's working when we had one item, but if we had more than one item, it wasn't working. So I'm kind of doing some testing now with like middle amounts of items to see if how well it works. But yeah, it looks like everything's working okay. I mean, if this system breaks up here, you know, for whatever reason, it's not like we didn't just build this huge subterranean one as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You know, leave a comment, make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.